a lot of the exercise research done in the last 20 years was sponsored by large corporations who wanted to make this link between exercise and weight loss so that they could continue to sell sugary, ultra-processed foods and drinks and just say it's childhood obesity is because we don't have playgrounds and we don't encourage this, and that's why the Cokes and the Pepsis are always there at the sponsoring Olympic events and associating themselves with sport. And they gave hundreds of millions to various physiology departments, sports departments, nutrition departments to do research in this area. Basically, it was really hard to get anyone to do research into how sugary drinks make you gain weight or cause problems, because the amount of money for nutrition has been abysmally poor, from governments, and that's why only the first ever study of ultra-processed food in a controlled trial was only about 3 years ago, and it's been around for 30, 40 years. So such is the power of that lobby that it doesn't necessarily distort the research in a sort of evil way, but they point it to make sure that the researchers are working in an area that they want people to work in, and distracting them, keeping them away from talking about sugars or even artificial sweeteners, which in my view are nearly as bad because they're sort of hidden, and deflecting us from the idea that yes, giving kids sugary drinks or even artificial sweet drinks is going to be bad for them and cause obesity. If you take young adults and kids, and they were say on 2 cans of full sugar sodas, and you change them to the diet version, there's no real difference in weight or metabolic changes in their blood. You will go to the dentist less, so you don't get as many fillings, but and yet you should be gaining 300 calories, right, if you were doing 2 cans a day. So it doesn't work out as it should do, and that's because of these chemicals are not inert. So the sweeteners in kids, they change their brains to give them they want more sweetness in their food. Okay, so it could reflect your wish for your late night milk chocolate, who knows, and it makes it very difficult to train kids to have more bitter foods or sour foods if they've got these artificial sweeteners in their diet all the time. But they've now shown that all these sweeteners actually affect your gut microbes. So even stevia, these sort of so-called healthy ones, have an effect on your gut microbes, and they're not inert. So we know that saccharin and sucralose also cause spikes in your blood sugar. When I did it, I have a trace. They're not supposed to, but they actually do things they're not supposed to. So we know very little about these products, and my view is that they are harmful, probably not as bad as having the sugar, but they are absolutely not a health drink, and we should be encouraging people to have teas and kombuchas and more bitter tasting, interesting flavors and foods than just this ultra sweet chemical concoctions.